Shedeur Sanders' NFL reality. Waiting, watching, and wondering as Deion Sanders defends his solidified QB. The Cleveland Browns' 2025 season could not have started on a more frustrating note. Opening week against the Cincinnati Bengals was supposed to be a statement game, a chance to erase the ghosts of last season and ride into September with confidence. Instead, the Browns walked off their home field with a bitter 27-17 loss. But as brutal as that defeat was for the fans in the dog pound, the bigger story brewing in Berea has nothing to do with the scoreboard. It's about a young quarterback wearing number 14, sitting on the sideline with his helmet off, watching, waiting, and wondering what exactly his NFL future looks like. That quarterback is Shedeur Sanders, the face of Deion Coach Prime, Sanders' Colorado Revolution, a college football star who once turned the Buffaloes into must-see TV, and now a rookie lost in limbo. A rookie with no clear path. The Browns' quarterback depth chart is supposed to be straightforward. Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old Super Bowl MVP turned Cleveland folk hero, is the starter. Dillon Gabriel, the ultra-productive rookie out of Oklahoma, is the backup. And then there's Shedeur, technically QB3 but practically more of a developmental project than a next-man-up option. That hierarchy became clear before Week 1 and was hammered home after the opener. Even if Flacco were to go down, whether by injury or a disastrous stretch of play, reports out of Berea indicate that Gabriel would get the nod, not Sanders. For a player who arrived in Cleveland with national hype, nil endorsements still running from his Colorado days, and the expectation of at least getting some legitimate reps, the reality is hard to swallow. So what is Shedeur supposed to do? How does he turn this slow burn start into an actual NFL career? Tyvis Powell's prescription. The grind. NFL veteran and Cleveland sports analyst Tyvis Powell believes the answer is simple, even if it isn't glamorous. Shedeur just got to continue to grind, Powell told local media this week. Right now, he's quarterback 3, so that means he's probably handling scout team responsibility. Powell painted a picture of Shedeur's daily football life, standing behind the line with a red scout team jersey, running the opponent's plays to prepare the Browns' starting defense for Sunday. Him and Bailey Zapp is probably splitting time on the scout team right now, Powell continued, and he's trying to get better in that aspect as far as being able to see it, get the ball out quickly, and make the throws. For a player who grew up under the bright lights, from being a viral phenom in high school to being the centerpiece of Deion's Colorado experiment, it's a humbling assignment. But Powell insists it's exactly what Sanders needs. The grind is something, or maybe the only thing, Shedeur can do right now, Powell said. You do that, and when your number is called, you're ready. The preseason glimpse that fueled hope. The most frustrating part for Shedeur's supporters is that he actually looked ready, at least for a moment. In Cleveland's second preseason game, the rookie completed 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns in a dominant 30-10 win over the Carolina Panthers. He looked poised, in command, and, most importantly, confident. Then came the setback. A mild oblique injury kept him out of the Browns' final exhibition matchup and effectively iced any chance he had of closing the gap with Gabriel before Week 1. It might sound dramatic, one Browns insider said, but Shedeur isn't exactly getting prime reps in practice anymore. And that's where things start to get downright bizarre. Throwing to equipment guys? If the scout team reps are at least understandable, the next revelation borders on disrespectful. According to ESPN's Aaron Goldhammer, most of Shedeur's practice throws aren't even going to receivers. Shedeur Sanders apparently is throwing not to receivers but to equipment guys, Goldhammer said during a radio hit. They have got equipment guys snapping him the ball and then also running the routes. Mahomes is throwing to Kelsey. Shedeur is throwing to equipment guys. For a rookie trying to earn the trust of the coaching staff, that's a soul-crushing visual. A former college star reduced to running drills with staffers instead of NFL-caliber athletes. The writing on the wall, the message, intentional or not, is clear. Shedeur isn't sitting behind Flacco as the heir apparent. He's sitting behind Flacco and Gabriel as a long-term project, waiting for the Browns to decide whether he's part of their future, or a trade chip. Trade chatter is already swirling in Cleveland, with some analysts openly wondering whether Andrew Berry, the Browns' general manager, would entertain offers for the rookie if a QB-needy team comes calling. Shedeur is too talented to rot on a depth chart, one league source said. But if he's not in the plans here, you've got to figure out a way to get him somewhere he can play. Deion Sanders' perspective: Shedeur is a solidified QB. Meanwhile, 1,300 miles away in Boulder, Deion Sanders was once again defending his son, even if indirectly. Colorado has its own quarterback saga. In Week 2 against Delaware, Coach Prime played not one, not two, but all three of his quarterbacks: Kaidon Salter, Ryan Staub, and five-star freshman Julian Lewis. When pressed by reporters about who would start next week against Houston, Deion refused to tip his hand. "I'm not confirming any of y'all know that," he said on September 9th. "We aren't like that. We're good. We have capable guys. Staub has been doing a phenomenal job and getting the majority of the reps, but I haven't made that assessment and decision yet." One reporter fired back with a question that clearly struck a nerve. "How does it feel not having a solidified quarterback?" Deion's reply was classic Coach Prime. "We play quarterbacks every week. What does a solidified quarterback look like?" The reporter's answer came quick: Shedeur Sanders. Deion smiled. "That's what I thought too. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for that setup." From solidified to sidelined. At Colorado, Shedeur was that solidified QB. He was the identity of the program, the reason national networks parked their cameras in Boulder every weekend, the player who kept Colorado competitive against ranked opponents, even when their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Now, in Cleveland, he's an afterthought, the third quarterback on a team that seems more interested in bridging the present than developing the future. This is the uncomfortable truth of the NFL. Past performance, even record-breaking college performance, guarantees nothing. What happens next? For Shedeur, the path forward is narrow but not impossible. He needs to master the scout team offense, impress the coaching staff behind closed doors, and stay ready for the day when, not if, the Browns need him. Injuries happen, seasons spiral, depth charts change, and when that moment comes, Cleveland will find out if their QB3 is ready to be QB1. Until then, he grinds. And if that grind sometimes means throwing passes to equipment guys, well, maybe that's exactly the kind of humility that will prepare him for his eventual shot. The bigger picture: Shedeur's situation is more than just a Browns subplot. It's a reminder of how brutally difficult the transition from college superstar to NFL contributor can be. Not every first-rounder is C.J. Stroud, stepping into an offense and immediately looking like a 10-year veteran. Some rookies sit, some regress, and some never get their shot at all. But if Deion Sanders is right, if his son really is solidified, then it's only a matter of time before the rest of the league sees it too.